Hi, my name is David Tier. Welcome back to Old Time Rock and Roll, where I profile a different rock and roll artist every day whose birthday it is on this day. And today's artist happens to be none other than Jerry Garcia of the Grateful Dead, and I'm sure most of you have heard of him. He was a very famous kind of part of the psychedelic scene of the late 60s from San Francisco, Haight Ashbury. Um, the Grateful Dead. Here's a picture of them. They were around for a long time. They got started in the '60s, in San Francisco. They never really became commercially successful, but they didn't really want that. They just kind of had a cult following among their fans who became known as Deadheads. And here's a poster. They had some very colorful, kind of psychedelic posters from the '60s, and their icon was the skull. Here's a skull with a lightning bolt going through it, and like I said, the Grateful Dead concerts were really a scene. And here's an example of one. And I actually went to see the Grateful Dead with my sister in 1988. They had a New Year's Eve concert in Oakland, and they had a big camp like this outside of the Coliseum. It was I think it was nighttime when we went, but it was just all these people. I mean, it kind of looks like the 1960s. It's a throwback to that era, and it's really a vet. I mean, it's too bad that Jerry Garcia's dead. He died about 30 years ago, but this was in they were still going strong in the 90s, and here's their can't. Oh, here's a picture of one of the Deadheads bus, kind of a '60s bus, and here's a few close-ups of some Deadheads, and so it was really an event going to their concerts. And as far as their music, I didn't even really talk about their music, but they didn't have any really big hits. They only had one top 40 hit that was "Touch of Grey" in the '80s. Some of you may know that one. They had some minor hits in the '60s and '70s. They had a song called "Ripple," and they had Casey Jones. They had some pretty well known songs. They just weren't big hits. They had "Truckin'." The Alabama Getaway. So they had some pretty good songs. Unfortunately, when I saw them in concert, I didn't really like the music they played. I think they played like 4 or 5 songs, and each one went on for about a half an hour. I was pretty bored of listening to them, but I do like some of their better, more well known songs. So that's my profile on Jerry Garcia and the Grateful Dead, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you next.